Welcome back. Today we are going to get back to our 3D engine. So our first attempt at this was quite a failure. We did get something to render, but honestly we were nowhere near a world where you could do anything of any excitement whatsoever. In the meantime, we did have a success with building up this agent that you could talk to, and based on that, we're going to get back and try to rebuild the world, but this time providing more information, more example, and actually making it more complex, because we want this to be done completely by the AI without that we have to do stuff. And so that's where we have to go. We will get this to work, or we will fail and then have to learn what we did wrong there. If we go back to our terminal, I think the first thing we need to do is we have an experiments folder. Actually, what's inside that one? I don't remember anymore. Right, that's just Bevy. So we're going to make another folder inside here. So I do apologize. I'm a bit under the weather. I've been ill for a few days and I'm still a bit lightheaded, but let's get this done. Right. So assistant, well, that was a journalist, wasn't it? Journalist. And we're just going to move. Yeah, and then move everything here down to experiments, journalist, and yeah, should be fine. And we move experiments back in here. Okay. Okay, so this means we start from a completely clean slate. Well, not completely, we still have the code in there, but we're going to just see. Oh, I wanted to do a new session, but ended up quitting here. See, and this one over here, we probably need to restart that one as well. Okay. So if you recall the few other times we did this, we start out by getting it to use this ACE framework, which tries to interrogate us, get all the information out. And this is exactly what we'll be doing today. So it's not going to be too exciting. I'll take you through a few websites I found. So the idea here is to provide more context around examples that actually does roughly what we want, and then see if we can get the AI to use that to do something useful for us. And so let's get back to our terminal here and say we need to build the Oasis game engine. That should get it started on the product if everything is right. Oh wait, it didn't start on that. Let's just see. I think we've started the wrong version of OneUp code. See which. Interesting. Oh, right. Ben. See. Yeah, okay. So now the server is there. Oh, right. We've actually forgotten something other crucial, right? So one of the first things we need to do before we do any of this is initialize the ACE framework. So we're just going to do that ACE init, and then we're copying Claude into agents.md. Oh, too many steps for a day like today. Let's see what it does now. Okay, so now it's doing the right thing. It's checking whether the product exists and then start asking us the questions. actually. I guess it's more of a world than a single game, right? Okay, so one of the things I have done is I've actually looked a bit at the documentation for Bevy. And if we bring up a new browser window here, I will take you through what I found. Okay, so now it's going to ask us about the things, right? And let me just, I found this great example, and I thought maybe if we give it a great boilerplate to start with, we'll get further faster, right? And so this is a free engine with some basic stuff. You can interact with the Fox, you can jump around, there's some physics going on, and I think it's a good starting point. And they actually have a web demo you can check out if you want to. We're not going to do that right now. We're just going to go ahead and tell it what this is about. So we are building this for, what are we building this for? I mean, I'm building this for me right now. This for me and for the fun of it. In particular explore Bevy. Okay. So I have 4 different examples I've found here that I think will be relevant. Oh, Bevy would really like to use, not to use, to combine these 4 abilities into a single engine. And then it asks here, what types of players do you envision casual explorers? So I think it will think the players will be casual explorers. Let's just go with that. Okay. And now it's going to ask us a bunch of more questions. So let's get through those ones. And then again, get it to write out all of the things that we need. So we need requirements, we need features. I think it already wrote features, but we need requirements, we need use cases, we need the test cases, and all of these things. The design document, we want it to be really, really thorough this time, so we don't get another disappointment. Because the first time was, yes, okay. What operation and actions should the player be able to perform? One movement, walking, running, jumping and climbing to yes to all, and also talk to NPCs. Free. There's actually an example. Right. So there's an example of how to make it so you can talk to the NCP. Building. Let's wait with building. We still need to figure out what is the concept actually going to be, because the book is terribly unspecific on this, except that you can use magic some places and others you can't. We already have an idea how we're going to solve this with a script engine. But yeah, let's leave that for now. Yeah. Crafting. Combat. Wait. We don't need that. Now, 4. Okay, so one of the things you can do in Ready Player One is you can pick things up, you can teleport between zones or planets even, and you do have ways of crafting, right? And so we want all of them. So I suspect this is going to be quite comprehensive, and yeah. Let's see. Let's try to push this as fast as we can get it. Like I'm super optimistic after the last video we had where things actually just worked. That was completely not expected, but you know, maybe we are lucky that AI has evolved enough. How should your world be structured and persisted? Right. Continuous voxel. What is a voxel world? I need to look that up. This is why these questions are so great, right? So one of the things that has happened to me a few times is that I start getting interviewed by the AI, and it starts asking me questions about things where I'm like, I had no idea what that is before I did this. Now I need to Google it and and figure out what it actually means and learn something new. What a concept! It's a great way of actually learning a lot of interesting stuff. Anyway, let me just bring up a browser here. See. So it says voxel world. Oh wait, I think yeah, this is voxel world. I think this is what Minecraft is kind of doing. Yeah. Okay, yes, it is. So that's a very good question. I think we need to do a hierarchy division in the long run. Let's see. So if we do this, right? So the idea would be to do something similar to Google Maps. So basically, you have these tiles, and as you zoom in on a tile, it splits into 4 more tiles, and then after that, it splits into 4 more tiles. And so in this way, you get a continuous set of zones, meaning that we need a continuous continuum of distinct zones at the lowest level. Actually, do we even need the hierarchical stuff? I don't think so. We just need a continuum. We need continuous, we need distinct zones. And they don't, do we want the, oh man, this is a lot harder than I thought it would be. In particular because distinct zones. However, within a single zone, we might have a continuous voxel and perception. The question is, are we going to place these next to each other or far away from each other? The easiest would be that they're all the same size, but that's very limiting in what you can create. Until the bounds. Yeah, okay. It will have to make up what it zone needs to be programmable, scriptable, such that physics might feel different from zone to zone. Okay, and then the persistence. I feel like this project is already getting far too big. Like, if we're successful at this, I mean that would be, or even moderately successful, we might well have a great starting point. And actually, we want the distinct zones next to one and another. Okay, and so I think this is a very important point. I actually want this because this will be great for another project, but they do need to lay next to each other. We'll get more into that project later on in this series, but each zone needs to be programmable, scriptable, such that physics might feel different from zone to zone. Need the ability to assign a admin to a zone who is responsible for its programming. Okay. Should well say yes. Need persistence. NCP players play statically in the world or spawn dynamically. What does it mean? What data do they need? Dialog tree. Schedules. Oh, right. So NCPs. In the long... Well, let's just For now, NCPs are static placed via the scripting language. The scripting. Let's leave out the statically, because then it can use a bit of its hallucination powers to just figure out what I mean by that. Yes. The scripting. Yes. And the scripting language should control requests and CPs will, yeah. Oh, NCP custom items, zone events, etc. Okay, that's cool. Let's just keep with that. Okay. Let's keep this to desktop Mac for now. No, we're not going to target that, even though that would be sweet. Rendering style. Style. Just do no requirements. Performance. This is such a ridiculous question. Performance targets. Oh, and then again, maybe it isn't, because it should actually be one of the things that we're evaluating when we are building out this thing, right? So the AI should write performance tests that test, are we reaching the frame rate we want to target. The game should be super performant. I mean, all I want is it for host infinitely many things and require 0 resources. Is that too much to ask? Version. Version. Whatever will. Yes. Load into a hub zone. Then teleport to other zones. Yes. Portals. You can also walk or travel across boundaries. Yes, just autosave. Or scripting flow. Yes, but reloading while in the game. I mean, that sounds like the right approach to go, right? And then basically the idea here would be that as an admin of a zone, you could throw a spell that generates a script, and that script is then hot reloaded. That would be pretty much the gist of how Ready Player One is, at least in my head. What capabilities should spawn, despawn entities, modify voxels? Oh my goodness, this is so many questions. But this is also why I think we're not going to manage to get any coding done today. So once we're done with this, I will start the agent and get it to start building out these things that we're doing. And then we'll check back in tomorrow and see where we're at, because this is super ambitious. Okay. I think I might have shot a little bit above the target this time. Get set position, inventory, stats, trigger animation, world, all of it, physics, all of it, NPCs, all of it, events, all of, look into player entering zone, interacting with objects, completing quests, yeah, all of it. UI, add extra UI controls, notifications, quest trackers. Okay, this is becoming pretty comprehensive. Let's think about the edge cases. What happens if a player is standing exactly on a zone boundary? Zone A is... Okay, so let's do a... Make it that's not start zone boundary if and ends exclusive. That should work, right? Because where one then you could still stand exactly on the boundary, couldn't you? Yeah, it doesn't actually fix the problem. I don't know. Research it and come up with a solution. Solution. I mean, you're the AI after all, and the superpower according to the media. So you go and do the work. If a zone script yes, kick, no, run the last working version of the script. Display a box with a question mark. Feel inclined to say use error correction, but that also feels like it's a bit flippant. Uh, up. Use do assets from the repos I've sent you. Level editing, crude support, French room for French sounds good. I have absolutely no idea what that is, but let's just go with it. Simon, any target dates? As fast as possible. Well, remember, we are going to keep people's brains connected to this so there can be no mistakes, or they will die. Okay. Yes. All of that. I'm getting tired of answering questions here. Yes, that's one of volume and weight. To what stats exist? Sounds good. 3 in a config file. We'll deal with that later on. In the long term, we do want to assign these on the blockchain, but we're not quite there yet. I mean, we haven't even written any code yet, so let's take it one step at a time. You mentioned crafting earlier. Let's put it in. No, defer. Let's try to limit ourselves here. It's super hard, but let's try. Okay, so it creates binaries and epics now. Will you look at that? Oh wait, it asks a question first, will you? Yes, of course I do. I mean, that's what this is all about. Have one feature. Hmm. 7 epics. This is something new, right? Last time we did something, it did not choose to do epics because the project wasn't as big. But that's actually really cool that that's working. If we just me here in the corner. Cool. Okay, and it's now created the first few use cases. Well, I do feel that at least on some level, I feel like I have accomplished something with this ACE framework, right? Because the planning seems to be going pretty well in that the AI takes a lot of questions and try to understand what we're doing and does a pretty thorough planning of these are the epics, these are the requirements, these are our acceptance criteria, and this is how we get on with stuff. I am actually really, really happy seeing that that's working as well as it's doing. I'm still working on a new version of this ACE framework, which I think is going to be absolutely amazing because that one is going to have better tracking and better recollection of what was actually recorded in these backlogs. But that is not quite ready yet. 45 tasks. Oh man, this is getting way out of hand. Right, and I see. Okay, so there's actually a bug here, right? Because it should be, or maybe there isn't. Should have. Yeah, there is. Okay, that's good to know. So we found a bug in my implementation of the ACE framework because obviously the feature should be under an epic somewhere. And in that way allow us to break things down nice and easy. We're not doing that at the moment, and that is probably going to constitute a huge problem because I think that there is a reasonable chance that the agent will now just pop everything into this one place and do a great job at creating all the requirements and all of this, but then do a mediocre at best job at doing the rest. Okay, cool. This is where we're going to stop for today. So I'll let it finish whatever it has to do here. And then once I have a good, solid plan, I'm just going to get it to start implementing that. And then we can check back in tomorrow and see where we're at and see if we're getting any closer to having anything that we can walk around in and play around with. I'm really hoping that it will manage to remember that I gave it examples and use those examples because they pretty much provide you a full boilerplate plate that does a lot of the stuff that we want to do. And so we had four different ones. It's really just a matter of figuring out how to put those ones together. and this should be something that it has taken note of, but maybe it hasn't. So we'll see that tomorrow. And yeah, until then, take care.